Hello, testing. There we go. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call tonight's regular meeting council to order. Recommendation that the regular council meeting of March 11th, 2019 be adopted as presented. Moved by Councillor Cunningham, second by Councillor Niche. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Item 3A, recommendation that the minutes of the special council meeting of February 25th, 2019 be adopted. Moved by Councillor Ranawa, seconded by Councillor Ady. Any comments? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Item 3B, recommendation that the minutes of the regular council meeting of February 25th, 2019 be adopted. Moved by Councillor Ady, seconded by Councillor Moreau. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. And item 3C, recommendation that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting of February 25th, 2019 be received. Moved by Councillor Cunningham, seconded by Councillor Niche. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, first up we have a presentation from our Chief Financial Officer regarding the opportunity for the public comment on the 2019 budget.
Okay, there we go. Good evening. Thank you for attending or watching from home our first of two public consultations on the 2019 budget. Staff presented the 2019 municipal budget on February 25th. We will be showing a snapshot of that presentation for the purpose of public engagement and feedback at this public consultation. Council will listen to the comments and questions from the public as a part of their deliberation of this year's budget bylaws. After the presentation, people are asked to approach the microphone and either ask their question or provide their comments. However, before we start talking about the budget, we would like to show the viewers here and at home a short video put together by our communications manager, which is a snapshot of some of the city achievements in 2018. We hope the previous video was informative. Now we will recap some of the information originally presented to Council on February the 25th. After taking into account the expected revenues and expense items, the City is happy to present, for once, a budget surplus. This means no increase. This surplus has enabled us to propose a return of 2 RCMP members, a return of 1 bylaw officer, set up a reserve to mitigate the expected loan repayments on a new RCMP detachment, and reduce the mill rate by 2%. On the far right column are the proposed municipal rates for 2019. They are compared to the 2018 mill rates in yellow. You will note the rate has decreased for residents. This is mostly because we have proposed a reduction to this year's rate as a result of the budget surplus. The mill rate is only a multiplier applied to the assessed value to arrive at a dollar figure. To calculate the impact to a property owner of the recommended mill rate, one needs to compare the 2018 combined general property tax to the amount calculated for 2019. The 2018 combined general property tax can be found on the 2018 property tax notice as shown in the red circles. These are the only categories Council can decide on. All the rest of the tax levies are either set by another authority or calculated based on assessed values in Prince Rupert to pay the bill the City is sent. The formula to calculate the general levy is on this slide. Take 2019's assessed value divided by 1,000 times the proposed 2019 mill rate. This is the municipal portion of the property tax for 2019. Compare this to the 2018 combined general property tax as found on the previous slide. This will inform you whether the taxes have gone up or down on your property. We have provided the effect to a homeowner with an average assessed value in both 2018 and 2019. In 2018, a homeowner with an average assessed value of $264,000 paid $1,635 in municipal tax. In 2019, the average assessed value of a home is $268,000. Therefore, if a homeowner had an average assessed value home in 2018 and an average assessed value home in 2019, that homeowner could expect to pay $1,607 in municipal tax this year. This is $28 less than in 2018. This slide shows the projected daily cost for the average homeowner in 2019. For example, every day, an average household will contribute $4.40 per day to access all municipal services, excluding utilities. This translates into $1.72 for all protective services, 48 cents for roads and sidewalks, 71 cents for parks and recreation, 26 cents for community services grants, and 22 cents for airport access, to name a few of the services. As mentioned on a previous slide, the proposed residential mill rate is lower than last year. To show in real dollars the effect this has on a homeowner provided the value of their home stayed the same, we have created the following table. This table is in a range of dollar values where the majority of residential assessed value levels exist. For simplicity, we have separated them into $50,000 increments. For example, if a homeowner's value in 2018 was $200,000, the 2018 municipal taxes paid were $1,238. At the proposed 2019 rate, the taxes are $1,200, or $38 less than in 2018. We have created this visual for viewers to see where their tax dollars are expected to be spent in 2019. The largest allocations are to RCMP at 24%, fire at 15%, recreation at 12%, roads and sidewalks at 11%, and grants at 6%. These 5 categories make up 68% of the services funded through taxation. There is no doubt that taxes in Prince Rupert are higher than our neighbours. We offer some services that other communities do not have, for example, airport access. However, there is a legislative reason why taxes are higher in Prince Rupert. In 2004, the province of British Columbia capped the major industrial mill rate for all municipalities with a qualifying import-export property. Therefore, the city can only charge capped rates on industry that is considered eligible. Until this year, all of the city's major industrial operating activity qualified for these capped rates. Unlike residential and business properties, industrial properties assessments decline. Therefore, a limited tax rate on a declining assessment results in diminishing tax revenues. This graph shows the impact to the City of Prince Rupert by rate-paying category from 2004, when the tax caps were introduced, through to 2018. You can see on the yellow line where new investment offers a spike of new taxation from major industry, but declines afterwards as assessed values decline. The red line is the residential tax revenue, and the green line is the business tax revenue. The residential burden has increased from $4.7 million to $7 million in 15 years. The business burden has increased from $3.2 million to $4.8 million. Major industrial tax revenue has returned to 2004 levels from $4.8 million to $4.8 million, despite the addition of 2 new industries, an expansion of the coal terminal, and an expansion to the container port in this time frame. Staff and council have continued to educate the province on the impacts to our particular community of this provincial legislation. We encourage the public to advocate with us to have the province fund in whole their provincial incentive program. It is expected that changes to the proposed mill rates are likely, given it is tied to assessed values. BC Assessment will release their revised roll March 31st, which will take into account any appeals to assessed value. Any reductions to assessed values may impact the proposed mill rates. Given that property taxes are not tied to ability to pay, homeowners should familiarize themselves with available programs that may offer some relief for those that qualify. The provincial government offers residents the homeowner grant and the tax deferral program. These programs are available to reduce property taxes paid and defer the tax payments through a loan that is recovered at the time of sale. Please contact City Hall for details of each program or look on your property tax notice. Want to know more about how tax rates are calculated? We have a video available on our website under City Hall. In the drop-down menu, click Property Taxes. It is also available on YouTube. Search Property Taxes Prince Rupert. For residents who aren't present at tonight's meeting, we have a new online engagement platform called Rupert Talks. You can register at engage.princerupert.ca to participate and find the city's proposed 5-year financial plan document, frequently asked questions, the video mentioned in the last slide explaining taxation, and other resources. Results from the survey are anonymous and will be aggregated and shared with council as part of the budget process. Paper copies of the survey will be available at City Hall, the Recreation Complex, and the library. Thank you for listening to our presentation. We will have another public consultation opportunity on Monday, March 25th at 7 p.m. in council chambers located in City Hall. Comments and questions can also be received through email at finance@princerupert.ca. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So at this time now, it's an opportunity for the public to come forward and have any thoughts you have on the proposed budget. So once Ms. Bombin is back at her seat, feel free to come to the mic and please say your name and your address for the corporate administrator and any comments you have on some of the proposed budgets this year. Welcome.
My name's Terry Saka. I've got a couple questions. In the presentation you stated that we provide some things that other municipalities don't. One is the access to the airport ferry. Isn't it true then that the people that use the ferry also pay for the usage of that ferry?
Yes.
And what is the amount? I know it used to be $8 when I was a kid.
I'm not sure what the fee of the ferry is, and it's incorporated in the plane tickets now, isn't that correct?
That's correct, but the bylaw is on our website, and I believe it's $19
It's $19
for an adult, yes.
one way,
That's correct.
so it's 48 return.
38.
38. Okay. The other question I have, you know, we've been talking about the infrastructure for years, and our roads are in deplorable condition. And I was wondering whether the city or the budget people have thought about having a 2 cents a liter gas tax like they have in Vancouver. It's something that I would be supportive of, providing that that money generated would be specifically used for road repair. You know, we have all kinds of industrial trucks. Seems that everybody in Prince Rupert's got 2 or 3 cars, and instead of the homeowners bearing the brunt of the taxes, it would only make sense to me that people that use the roads would in turn pay for the roads. Have you entertained that idea?
It's a great idea, but I don't believe that we have the authority to do it. It's provincial authority. Vancouver has a separate charter. We're under the community charter. Vancouver's the only one that has their own separate abilities, but it is a great idea, and given the fact I'm speaking off the cuff here, I will look into it, but I'm pretty sure we don't have the authority to do this because this is an idea I'm sure many people would have actually done, so pretty sure it's provincial.
Okay, it's worth exploring, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Other folks from the public that wish to come forward? Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Nathan Randall. I reside at 2008 Atlin Avenue. I just have one question with regards to the 2% decrease proposed tax cut. From my understanding, it's an average of about approximately $26 per person. That would be, is that the differential?
Per household.
Or per household? Pardon me. 28.
That's only on an assessed average assessed value. It's different depending on the assessed value changes.
Okay, so that may change to some degree later on in March. Okay. The reason I bring this up is because I'm wondering if Mayor and Council have considered perhaps reducing that, maybe to a 1% decrease or even a tax freeze, because in total, I think that would add up to maybe between $200,000 and $300,000, which would be increase in your budget, and that amount, when you divide it up amongst households, is not significant, although symbolically certainly is. But if you allocated that kind of money into things like community grants, for example, that would be a significant proportion of a program's expenses or budget rather, or could even finance several community projects. And when we think of the wonderful video that we just saw, that was full of all kinds of community projects that were bringing people together to celebrate Prince Rupert and make it a more livable place, perhaps that money could be allocated that way, and that we could see some more of that in 2019. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I hope you'll consider that moving forward. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Next questions, please. Okay, seeing no one else, I'll continue on with the presentation or the agenda here. So moving on, we have, and thank you very much for those that came forward. We have the report from our city planner, application for development variance permit at 1809 or 1089 Ambrose Avenue. Welcome back.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Am I on?
You're on.
We received this application on February 25th. It is for development variance permit at 1089 Ambrose Avenue. This is an older structure dating back to 1940s with larger than average front yard and a backyard, and it's well maintained, and it has a relatively small footprint. The existing structure is existing non-conforming, and to match the proposed porch, the porch has to have a variance to the west from 4 feet to 2.8 feet to match the house, and to the east from 4 feet to 1 foot to match the house. This is a contractor's illustration of the renovation. When completed, it will provide a better street appeal to the house, as well as more functional entrance. There are no costs or budget implications for city granting or not granting the variance, and the applicant requires approval to proceed to public notification. Mr. Mayor.
Any questions? Okay, recommendations that the development variance permit application DP 1902 for 1089 Ambrose Avenue proceeds to public notification. Moved by Councillor Cunningham, second by Councillor Niche. Further discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much. Next, we have Joyce Charlton, manager at the North Coast Victim Services, regarding a proclamation request from City Council. Welcome back. There we go.
Good evening. I put forth a request for a proclamation to be signed by the mayor and supported by council for victims and survivors of Crime Week, which is the last week of May, from May 26th to June 1st for 2019. This is an annual initiative through the Justice Canada Policy Centre for Victims Issues. If granted this evening, the proclamation would be signed and presented on Tuesday, May 28th at a media release. During that week, we would host several different initiatives raising awareness about issues faced by victims and survivors of crime. We would highlight the many services available in Prince Rupert and acknowledge the work of the service providers and their dedication to assisting victims and survivors of crime and their families in Prince Rupert and surrounding communities.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Just congratulations on the new job, and yeah, I would support this resolution 100%, and I hope council would attend it.
Okay, so the recommendation is to proclaim May 26th to June 1st, 2019 as Victims and Survivors of Crime Week in the City of Prince Rupert. Moved by Councillor Cunningham, seconded by Councillor Ady. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much for this initiative. We really appreciate it. Okay, next up is a report from myself regarding the Charge North Rural Electric Vehicle Network. So as council knows, I'm on the advisory committee for the Charge North Electric Vehicle Network. It's now been branded as Charge North is the official name of the initiative. And what it is a partnership between 5 regional districts to create a electric vehicle charging network that will go from Haida Gwaii to Kamloops. And so what it would look like would be about every 60 kilometers a charging station along the highway, as well as in all the communities that are participating. What we're doing is we're all, as a collective, working through the Community Energy Association, who is hosting the advisory committee, and we've gone for funds through the province's new Clean BC fund, as well as the Federation of Canadian Municipalities has funds available for this network. So the pretty much 90% of this initiative will be funded by grants, which will be in the millions, and each regional district and each municipality has to contribute a small amount to the initiative. And what that looks like is purchasing a couple charging stations for the community. So the resolution here today is for us to participate in Charge North, which would allow us to allow staff and our engineers to map out some locations that would be suitable in Prince Rupert. And the cost per station at a level 2 is $2,500, and a level 5 is, or level 3 is $5,000. And if we were to do this independently, it would be significantly more. But since we're applying as a massive group of communities across 5 regional districts, the cost is $2,500 basically per community per station, as well as us participating in like a 5-year maintenance program with them, and then with options to renewal. So what the resolution would be, just a resolution to participate, and then we would map out how many we would get and where we would put them, and then we are authorizing as well any funds to be displayed based on where the staff decide that these are suitable locations for them. And so we made a resolution at the North Coast Regional District at the last budget meeting to also participate in this. So North Coast Regional District will be purchasing 2 chargers, one for our area here and one for Haida Gwaii. As well as in the North Coast Regional District, we passed a resolution for the North Coast Regional District to be the lead applicant in this process with the Community Energy Association, because to apply for the funds, it needs to be through a municipality or some sort of local government. So we're also taking leadership through the regional district to apply for the funds with the CEA. And so it's looking like everybody on all the other regional districts are also doing these resolutions all at the same time right now. This due date here is on the 15th for us to get this done. So tonight's kind of the night to do it, and I hope that council wants to participate in this, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Councillor Rana?
Thank you for your report. If everything goes fine, we got all the fundings, when we can expect this project to be finished or start?
It's hoping that we're going to purchase all the equipment this year for installation over the next 3 years throughout the entire network. And the BC government's also working on their end. They'll be doing the big, larger level 3 chargers stations that will be on the highways and things like that. But if all goes well, we could potentially see some charging networks in the community as soon as next year. Councillor Adie?
Yeah, I'm in support of this. As a parent of a young child, I'm very conscious of things that we need to do, and there's many things we need to do. This is just one of them. So I'm in support of it. A little bit of a question about the stations that would be, I assume, along the highway kind of by themselves. Is there sort of built-in accounting for possible vandalism or anything like that? Because it seems to me if they're by themselves, they could be a bit of a target.
Vandalism is definitely an issue with this initiative. Each place that purchases will be responsible for their own maintenance, essentially. So the ones on the highway will be provincially or managed by BC Hydro, and they've already allocated those to be at the rest stops and things like that. So it'll be as good as we possibly can get it, type of thing. Yeah. But whoever gets vandalized, it will be their responsibility to handle that vandalism.
I definitely support this, but the stage 2, what's the charging time on one of them?
So a level 3, which is the highest capacity one, requires significantly more energy, is a 30-minute charge. and level 2s can be anywhere between a 2 to 4 hour charge. So the concept is that this is a tourism piece for the region as well, that people are gonna, what the plan will be is to have these in central locations, as well as have it so that you'll have like a little bit of display behind it, so people can like take a selfie saying I've arrived in Prince Rupert at the electric vehicle charging, and then it encourages them to shop in the community and actually take a look around, because it'll take that 2 to 4 hour period to charge up. But to purchase a level 3 would require quite a lot of power, so most of the communities are buying level 2s, and then the highway ones that will be managed by BC Hydro, those will be level 3 chargers.
So we would have 2 level 2s
That's right.
at $5,000 a piece.
The level 2s are at 2,500, I believe, each.
2,500?
Yeah.
And is there a price for the level 3s?
Yeah, I think they're over 5,000.
Yeah, because I can see a problem if you're a resident of Prince Rupert, or you just come here and you want to leave again. You got to wait 3-4 hours, and there's people waiting to charge also. You know, I think that's a problem that could become problematic, I believe. So.
Yeah, this is we're setting up the infrastructure for the future here with this. The whole point is that you can't have electric vehicles up here because there's no infrastructure. So if every 60 kilometers, like I believe it takes 4 days right now to get to Vancouver from Prince Rupert if you're trying to go as an electric vehicle. A lot of the chargers don't work along the highway right now. And so what this will be is all mapped out in an app as well on your phone. You'll be able to map it out all the way down. And but that's where the technology is at right now. And that's, in terms of cost, the best I think we can do to get this thing rolling. And then try to get a couple in Prince Rupert, as well as people that own these will have them charged at their house.
I guess we got to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Other questions?
So there be any fees for the chargings, and also like Hydro, who will be paying, city or?
So when we host, we will pay that, but there will be a small, I believe there's a small charging fee for each of the chargers that are associated to it as well. So we take on a 5-year kind of contract with this program to start the maintenance period, but the philosophy here is that every community is having to do this on their own, and so this is a way for us to do it in bulk together and drive the individual costs down in a way that's a coordinated approach from Haida Gwaii all the way to Kamloops. It's quite a vast network. Any other questions? Okay, so the resolution would be for the City of Prince Rupert to participate in the Charge North Rural Electric Vehicle Network. Moved by Councillor Cunningham, seconded by Councillor Niche. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you very much. And Mr. Vera, do you read out our closed meeting item there?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On February 25th, 2019, at Council's closed meeting, the following resolution was made. Moved by Councillor Niche and seconded by Councillor Cunningham, that Council appoint Glenn Guru and Chelsea Keys for another 2-year term on the Prince Rupert Library Board of Directors, and release this resolution at a future regular meeting of Council, and that was carried.
Thank you. Okay, reports from Council.
Yeah, as somebody who worked as a teacher at the high school for 25 years and saw a lot of basketball games, I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate the senior boys basketball team on their provincial championships. Credit goes to a lot of people for something like that. Parents, previous coaches on younger levels, the current coaches, Ryan and Mel Bishop. I know that the last time they won, Mel had dark hair. I hope he sees this. And of course, the boys themselves. This wasn't just a win; it was a really big win. So, congratulations to them.
Thank you. That's right now.
Yeah, related to same, it's a big achievement for our community. So I'm wondering, like when in the past our team won the provincial, Is there any celebration city on behalf of city? We did anything like any parade or something, or any letter to for congratulations on.
Certainly think we can send a letter. I don't know if we
I
have
think
a
we should
parade.
do
in
that.
our
Like
event.
our small community did high over there.
That's a good
We
idea.
should do something. I think.
Sure. Some gesture. Okay.
Could we invite them to be part of the Seafest parade?
That'd be a great idea. Yeah, let's do that. Other reports from council?
A couple of questions and one observation. Before we meet again, there's I believe a Bantam provincial championship in town here. And also we had some successful hockey teams on the weekend and that. In both, the Bantam team actually went to Alberta and won a tournament there, and Councillor Nice was back and forth on the highway with other parents from Rupert to Kitimat for the hockey games, back for the final of the figure skating, and then back again the next day for hockey again. So congratulations to them, and kudos to the parents that did all the driving. My two questions, one is is our derelict vehicle removal going to be extended to the industrial site?
I think it's just $70 a car, correct?
Because there's quite a few sitting around there. And the other one is, once the budget's passed, what's the timeline on a new bylaw officer?
Once the budget needs to be passed by May the 15th. So if we can get it done beforehand, that would be great, and then we can go ahead and start the process.
Any other reports? Okay, motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Ady, seconded by Councillor Randhawa. All those in favor? Means adjourned. Thank you very much. And another opportunity to comment publicly will be our next council meeting on the 25th.